Good evening. This is Professor Asif Iqbal. So, in today's session, we are going to discuss a topic semaphore. So, in a previous session, we discussed that a mutual exclusion method of synchronization can be classified into two categories: mutual exclusion through busy waiting / spin lock, and mutual exclusion through sleep and wake up. Here, mutual exclusion through sleep and wake up is a semaphore. So let's we discuss this semaphore. Semaphore is a sleep and wake up based mutual exclusion implementation for shared resources access. Semaphore is a system resource, and the process which wants to access the shared resources can first acquire this system object to indicate the other processes which wants the shared resources that shared resources is currently acquired by it. Right, the resources which are shared among a process can be either for exclusive use by the process or for using by number of process at a time. Right, so here the resources which can be shared among the process can be exclusive used by that process only, or it can be shared for in the number of process. Right, such as a display device is a typical example of shared resources which needs exclusive access by the process, whereas the hard disk storage, secondary storage memory is a shared among the many process. So based on the implementation of sharing limitation of shared resources, semaphore are classified into two, namely binary semaphore and counting semaphore. So one by one we'll see this. First, we'll go for counting semaphore. The counting semaphore limits the access of resources by a fixed number of processes and threads. The counting semaphores maintain a count between the counting semaphore here is it limits the accesses of resources by a fixed number of process and threads. It is not exclusive for a single process. Here, if you compare with the binary semaphore is allocating the resources to the single process at a time, right? So whereas counting semaphore allocated resources to multi process at a time, but it is a fixed number of process or threads. Counting semaphore maintains a counting number between 0 and a value. It limits the usage of resources to the maximum value of count supported by it. Right? Okay. The state of the counting semaphore object is set to signaled when the count of the object is greater than 0. Means when count object is showing 0 in the sense that it does not have allocate the resources, all the resources is acquired by other process. Right, when it is having greater than number of zeros, then it will signal that the resources is available. Count associated with the semaphore object is decremented by 1 when the process / process threads acquired it. When it is acquired it is get decremented. When the count is incremented by 1, which indicate that which incremented by 1 when process / thread releases the semaphore object. When process releases the semaphore object resources, then it is incremented by 1. So therefore the highest the value indicating that all the semaphore objects are resources are available, where 0 indicates that no resources, no critical section is available. Right, So the real example for the counting semaphore is a dormitory system for accommodation. You know that dormitory system for accommodation, where we have several beds within a room or within a hall, which is allocating for many people. So you can see here example for the dormitory system. Here we have a dormitory having number of the beds, but it has a several resources available here, such as a TV, toilet, books, sometime water, the chairs, which can be shared among many people here. So in the dormitory system, say here we have a receptionist. A receptionist, if beds are available, then the receptionist will give you the key for the bed. If it is not available, the receptionist allow you to book for the bed, and then you have to wait till bed is to be get empty. So once the bed will get empty here, so then receptionist will inform you that the bed is available, so that you can acquire it. Once you acquire the bed, then you can allow to utilize the resources here. So resources such like a TV, toilet, if available, books, glass, makeup set, or some the resources which is available in the dormitory. Okay, so this is the same way here a counting semaphore will do. Here semaphore objects, you see this is like a shared memory which is having critical sections, critical sections. So if it is available, then semaphore object available acquire the critical section, means acquire the critical sections. Here means critical section means it is a bed, once vacating the room, return the key to notify available to other. See, once the resources is utilized, release the semaphore object, wake up a sleeping process and wake up sleeping processes, means telling the sleeping processes that I vacated the object through what? Receptionist, through reception. So here reception, once it is given the bed is empty, or then critical section is released, then the OS is means wake uping the process A and telling that the process A, which is in the waiting due to the not available of critical section, to that you can utilize the critical section. So this is about a counting semaphore. So the binary semaphore, which we also called a mutex here, is different from the counting semaphore. So in a binary semaphore is a synchronization of the object provided by the OS for the process and thread synchronization. See here, this mutex object is allocated for a single process, so that it can utilize a number of resources. Only one process thread can own the mutex object at a time. Here you can see at a time. The state of mutex object is set to signaled when it is not owned by any process or a thread. So non-signaled when it is owned by any process. So here binary semaphore is example like a hotel accommodation. A real world example for mutex concept is hotel accommodation system, as shown in figure. Here you can see the hotel accommodation system, where in a single room is allocated to a single person with a single bed. The single person can utilize a number of resources which is available within the room, like a TV, toilet, etc. Right? When that person is leaving the room, it notify the receptionist, right? Then the receptionist then can allow other process, means other person to accommodate the room when that room is get empty or lived by person who accommodated. In similar way, here in this here there is a single critical section allocated to a single process, right? A mutex object available acquired the critical section. Here once the process acquired these critical sections, right, then it utilizes the resources. Once it is utilizes the resources, it signaled to the reception that here signal to the other process that the I am leaving this mutex, so you can acquire it, right? So then the process A, which is waiting for acquiring this mutex, right, mutex object can acquire it, right? So this is how a binary semaphore will work, right? Then we have a topic how to choose an RTOS. See here, to choose an RTOS, there are several conditions. Several things you need to analyze, and by analyzing those things, you have to choose proper RTOS for your embedded system design, right? The design of choosing RTOS for embedded design is very crucial. A lot of factors need to be analyzed carefully before making a decision on a selection of the RTOS. The requirements that needs to be analyzed in the selection of RTOS is functional requirement and non-functional requirement. So in the functional requirement, many things are there. You read it is in detail. It is a very simple things, right? You can understand here if you read in details. Just I will give certain hints here. Only certain important points only I will read here. That is, the functional requirement is a processor support, right? Which kind of processor you need to use to design, right? So then memory requirement, what are the memory requirement you have to choose, such as you have to take non-volatile memory like flash, ROM it is required, then it is required, OS also require RAM, right? Right, you use a minimal RAM and ROM for the OS under the consideration. Then the real-time capabilities. See here, it is a mandatory that the operating system for all the embedded system needs to be real-time, and all embedded operating system are real-time in behavior. Then we have kernel and interrupt latency. You read this, you can understand. The kernel of OS may be a desirable interrupt, which while disable the interrupts, because while executing the certain services, because since it is the real-time operation you need to be performed here, the certain interrupt may take more time, so therefore you need to disable certain interrupts when you are executing certain real-time operation, so that the interrupt latency should be minimum. Then we have inter-process communication. Task synchronization is very important. Which kind of the task synchronization you use, which kind of the inter-process communication you use, which kind of interfaces you can use, and modularization support is required, because most of the operating system provides a bunch of features here, right? So modularization is a one very strong feature in the OS, because you need to design the embedded system in modules. Then you can recompile, means the firmware or OS while you are designing should be in a modules, then you can recompile it, right? That is modularization. Windows CE is the example for highly modular operating system. Here you can see. Then we have support for networking and communication we require for many embedded system. Development language support. So which language you are using? C language, C hash, embedded C, or .NET. So that is also important, right? Then we have non-functional requirement, custom developed on shelf, custom developed or off shelf developed. Here custom developed means your own OS you can design, or you can go for off shelf operating system, right? See here, depending on OS requirement, it is possible to go for the complete development of operating system suiting the embedded system needs, or use off-shelf readily available operating system. See, custom develop means you have to develop your own embedded system for the your embedded product, or you can go for the available operating system which suits for your embedded product. Then we have cost is a very important factor. The total cost of the developing or buying the OS or maintaining it in term of commercial product and custom build needs to be evaluated before taking a decision on the selection of OS, right? So the cost of the OS is also very important. So based on your design cost, you have to choose operating system, because some of the operating system will be more costlier, some it is a cheaper. So based on your cost estimation of your design, you utilize the operating system. Development and debugging tools availability, which is very important factor here. The availability of development and debugging tool is a critical decision making factor in the selection of OS for the embedded system, because it is require development and debugging tools, right? So then we have ease of use, how easy it is to use a commercial RTOS in another important feature here. Then we have after sale. For a commercial embedded RTOS, after sale is in the form of email, on-call service, etc. for the bug fix, critical path updates, and support for the production issues, etc. should be analyzed thoroughly, right? So this is about choosing of operating system, means RTOS for your real-time operating system, right? We'll continue the next session with one more topic, that is integration and testing of embedded hardware and firmware. Till then, take care, bye.